Hello, my people.
Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Okay, alright, are you ready?
My name is Hopehajir if you are new on here, and I am going to film a video that I have not done in 5 years. Meaning, I did the exact same video 5 years ago. A lot has changed, I have grown, and I am coming back at you guys to answer a few questions that I had asked on my IG. I asked people, what would you like to get to know about me? And they sent in their responses. And if you haven't already done so, I don't know if you've seen the subscribe button. I don't know if you happened to see it. I think it's meremetaring for you. There's a tumushaino just for you. So I don't know if you can just press it to stop trembling. I think it would be nice if you guys just subscribed just a bit. I'd love to vibe with you. It would be nice if you could, join the family and for us to get this video started. How about that? I'm originally from Kenya and Sudan, etc., which we will go into. As a preface, the last video I recorded it in Johannesburg, South Africa, which if you followed me for a while, you're probably tired of me saying it. But for those who don't know, last 5 years ago in South Africa, I attended the African Leadership Academy. Then that's when I ended up moving to the US. It's now my 4th year because I'm now in my final year of academics, education. As this far, please, I'm tired. Also, as a preface, I'm much older than my year group, so I'm actually 4 years older. So I joined uni much later than other people just because I took 17,000 gap years. Now, let's get into a bit of some history. The first question here is actually from a close friend of mine who asked, where did you get your incredible sense of humor from? Thank you so much. My mom, first of all. Mom, and if you're watching this, mom, there's no way that this is all me. It can't all be from me. And I probably think it's my mom. She's very goofy, she's very quirky, but she also has a very dry, dark sense of humor. I don't know whether it's genetic or if it was the nurture part, but I think it came from my mom. And then also my friends. If you're watching this and we're close buddies. Hello, cream of the crop. I am 30 minus 5. I am born December 13th, 1996. So I can see my 50s basically just beckoning at me, saying, hi girl, come closer. And it's fine. It's fine. I appreciate getting old. I actually love getting older because I feel like I'm growing into my personality, because I feel like the amount of tea I drink is only justified by a certain age. And I think there's a way I don't match my age group. By the time this video is out, I will be a very fresh 25-year-old, which means the last time I did this video, I think I was 20 turning 21. Crazy. Please share the worst character development you've ever experienced. What? Now, character development, which is a thing commonly used in Kenya, is referring to when you go through struggle, not just any top shelf struggle that influences your personality type and who you become. And it's basically trauma. What have you gone through that has influenced who you've become? So what is the worst one? I think the worst character development I've ever had is when I just got into my teen years and my family went through a lot of financial hardships. And we moved from having a lot to very little, like that. That, I don't know if you've ever gone through a drastic financial change, instantly. Now, if you're getting more money, I severely can't relate by that. But on the other side, my friend, we are there. And that happened to us, and it taught me a lot about life. It taught me so much about people. It made me admire my mom times 7,000 because the things she overcame eventually influenced how I decided to overcome things. Because I've also gone through my own hardships. And looking back at that, I think I respond to a lot of tough situations from the time we went through that character development. I don't know if any of you are going through a hard time financially, but persistence was so key, because you just have to believe somehow things are gonna get better, even if there's no proof or evidence suggesting otherwise. So it taught me how to use my creativity for resource mobilization, and it taught me how to tap into my sense of humor. By the time you cry about something, make sure you have laughed at anything. Why can't I speak? By the time you cry because of something, make sure you have why can't I speak? By the time you laugh at something, make sure you have exhausted every possible laugh. Laugh at yourself, and then now when you've laughed, then now over there, just let it out, baby. Let it out. What part of Kenya are you from? Hey! Hey! That is where I am from. I come from the western part of Kenya, which is in Nyanza province, which if you're watching this, I think you can probably guess which tribe I'm from. I'm a Luo. I am a Luo woman. Anyar Homa Bay. My Luo is very strong intermediate. Close on the beginner side, but it's fine. My family is predominantly from Homa Bay. Where are you living right now? I'm in the US in Indiana, and I am in my 4th year at the University of Notre Dame. As I mentioned, I lived in Joburg, and then before that I lived in Nairobi. Other than yourself, who is your favorite comedian? Well, me as Hajir, I don't know if I am my favorite comedian. I don't know if I consider myself a comedian yet. Dave Chappelle, number 1. And then Anto is a Kenyan comedian. He's very, very good. Okay, so there's also a Kenyan comedian called Amandi. I love his comedy. He's very good. There's a South African comedian who I was very lucky to interview for the Afroverse, which is my podcast. If you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, please check it out. The link is gonna be below. The comedian is called Loyiso Gola. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be comfortable in my own skin and I want to be content. When I reached college, I realized I do not want to be an architect, even if I love architecture. And if you are someone who's young and you've not really started doing university yet, I want to tell you, loving an industry or a profession is not the same as being able to do it and to succeed in it happily. I realized that distinction when I got to college and I switched out into economics and political science. And in terms of career, anything that can come from those two feelings, then I'm fine. I don't believe in my career being static as this one forever thing. My career is going to be a bunch of projects, and whatever I choose to do or become, it's going to be very, very dynamic. And the thing I want to do is to be content and to be comfortable in my own skin. So long as it's built on that, I am good, man. How did you get into Notre Dame? You are gorgeous. I will make a whole video on that, but the short summary is that I think I got in because of access to opportunities. And when I stopped trying to be like other people and just embraced my own, the things that make me, like my creativity and my opinions, when I embraced them is when I think I was able to present myself as a competent and top candidate. Also, grades help. Grades help, but they don't matter. God knows they don't matter. Where did you grow up? I love your videos. Thank you, guy. I grew up in Nairobi, Kenya, and I've grown up in, I think, over 10 different areas. So there's no corner of Nairobi I'm not familiar with, or at least even 50% familiar with. I've grown up in so many flavors of Nairobi, and I think it's made me who I am today. I fell in love for the first time in Nairobi. I cooked for the first time in Nairobi. I got stolen from for the first time in Nairobi. My heart is in Nairobi. Yeah, that's my home. Which one do you prefer more in a person? High EQ or high IQ? So high EQ means they're not as intelligent, and then high IQ means they're not as compassionate or kind. Well, if I'm supposed to prefer it in a person, I think I prefer high EQ. I can only benefit from fun facts and spelling and mathematical equations for so long before I start to crave like an emotional connection. So I think high EQ is what I prefer. Why are you so funny? I don't even know your answer, but I'm already laughing. You don't know my answer, but you're already laughing. Okay, guy, go ahead. You're proactive. I like it. When are you visiting London? I do have the same question for God. So when he answers me, I will answer you. What do you do for a living? I am a student for a living, but how do I make money? I've done research for like 3 years. And also with my econ background, I do a lot of data analysis, data visualization. I used to have a business in uni. My first 2 years of uni, I ran a business from here, which operated in Kenya, which I ended up resigning from the business and handing it over to different management just so that I can focus on school. And then now, I think I earn money from my stipend from school, and then I do a lot of research. Are you Muslim? No, but there's a lot about Islam that I absolutely love. There's so much about Islam that I love, and there's so much about Islam that I'm deeply connected to. Nina swali moja, ushai sneak, ukaiba chapo au ndunya, time ya krisi hivi? Of course, the question is, have you ever snuck into the kitchen and stolen chapo or mandazi? during this time for Christmas? Of course, I mean, I'm a self-respecting citizen of Kenya. I don't know which other way there is to, occupy and consume your first chapo. What's your favorite movie? I have favorite movies in different genres because I can't pick a genre because it's like picking a feeling, and like I don't know how to do that. So my favorite movie in like romantic movies is called About Time. I don't know what other movie I can think of. I think I even mentioned this movie in my previous video like 5 years ago.
What is your favorite movie? The movie is called About Time. It's not a movie about time, it's a movie about love.
Workout or diet plan because your body is goals. My body is goals. Guy, thanks. Well, it's genetics because the way I don't work out or diet, this is genetics. And we know with genetics, it's a ticking time bomb. So eventually I know I'll have to pick working out and dieting and all that. One thing I know that helps me is, nope, I'm not even gonna say anything because anyone close to me will hear me saying diet and they'll just be like, Hajir, you're lying. On the public platform. Unless I'm being chased by a very hungry dog, it's very unlikely for now. Someone said, are you Somali or Kikuyu? In my heart, I am connected to Somalis and Kikuyus, but I'm not Somali or Kikuyu. Wow, the next question is actually nationality. So let me explain a bit about that, which is something I explained in my previous video. My mom is from Kenya and Pakistan. Then my dad is a Sudanese, but his mom has roots in Afghanistan, in Egypt, and then his dad is an Afro-Arab from Sudan. So I am basically a top candidate for border control in this country. But in terms of my heart, I feel very connected to South Africa. I feel very, very connected to Ethiopia. I feel connected to Kenya, connected to Sudan. I think I also feel very connected to India. And the thing that I get connected with is usually music, food, the people, the language, and things like that. So there are different cultural elements that, in those elements, the things that I like most about each are embodied within those cultures. That was a lot Chizungu, and we all know Chizungu Chingumu. I hope there was some, comprehension. How do you pronounce Hajir? Pronouncing it similar to Wajir. I just want to confirm if I'm wrong. So my name is not Hajaya. My name is not Hajiri. My name is not Hajir. My name is Hajir. And in Sudan it's Hajir. So Hajir, Hajir. Hajir, Hajir. Hajir, Hajir. Hajir, Hajir. Hey, okay, that's my name. Are you always this jovial? If not, how do you spend your frustrating days? I am not always this jovial. I have my hard days and I have my mood swings. I have my moments. I also have my meh moments when I'm not particularly feeling good or bad. I'm just meh. I've been very conscious and very intentional about observing and trying to practice my coping mechanism. So there's negative coping mechanism, and there's positive mechanisms. When I'm not trying, what are the ways that I respond? Are they on the positive side or are they on the negative side? I know my positive coping mechanisms and I cling to them. I listen to music, I watch comedy, and I'm also a huge, I just deeply love my support system, like my family and my friends. I rely on the people who I love and who love me, and they're my support system. So I've had to learn to speak about what I'm going through if I'm going through a tough time. And that's made things very easy as I've gotten older. One way I spend my frustrating days is to expect them. Because when I used to never expect them, I used to hate it, but then now I see feelings as waves. And so what I do is, if I'm going through like a mood or I don't know what's going on, I journal about it. I listen to my music. I try talk it out because I'm a very, I think as I speak. And so if I speak it out but I'm still not feeling, okay, I give it some time. And then if it's truly, truly bad, then from there I'll tackle it. Another way I spend my frustrating days, not gonna lie, is actually my spirituality. I'm not really keen on picking a certain religion, but my relationship with God is something I'm very intentional about. I really depend on connecting with God through prayer when I'm going through something rough. So I could say music is a thing, but within music, a huge chunk of it when I'm not feeling well is gospel music, which is something that I hold very dear to my heart. What are you studying and where? Again, I'm in the US, but I'm studying economics, political science, and I have a minor in digital marketing. My research has been around economics, developmental economics, and my research has also been around digital marketing. So I kind of do both, because I have this passion for society and policies and culture and all that, but I also have this passion for being able to develop digital brands, or the digital performance of brands. What languages do you speak? I remember talking about this in the previous video, so I don't know if my answers have changed, but I speak English, Kiswahili, Luo, a tiny bit of Arabic. I'm currently trying to learn the Sudanese dialect. Are you looking for a husband? I don't know if you guys know, but my eyesight is very poor and I usually need to wear glasses. When did you first discover you were goofy as hell? So the weird thing is I grew up really quiet. So I have a twin sister and she's called Hanim, and she's amazing. And she's very outspoken and very confident, and when we were younger, I think she carried the conversation and we were always together, and so I think she spoke on my behalf. And with twin telepathy, looking back, I never needed to even speak. I was very quiet, very shy, very calm. And then when we were separated, like when we became teenagers, we went to different schools and all that. When I now had my own thing and my own people and my own crowd and my own environment, that's when I discovered I was goofy, because then I was able to get out of my shell. And the thing that came out is this. Eventually, I used to go back home, like after boarding school or whatever. I'd be talking, just normal to Hanim, who's my sister, and our friends, and they'd be dying of laughter. I used to think they were laughing at me. Eventually I realized that, yeah, they're laughing at me, but it's because there's a comedic talent I have. And I always talk about on my podcast how, I don't know if it's an African thing, but because we have such survival mentality, we don't look at creative talent as talent. We just say, you're crazy, or you're a crackhead. But we don't say, oh wait, you're actually very entertaining and you're funny. I never ever received that. So it's in my older years now when I'm able to see that them laughing was actually the first interaction with an audience I ever had. And now is when I realized there's like a thing for comedy in there. What is your ideal husband? I feel like I can mention many things, but to honor the 60 or 70 or 80-year-old me, I would want to say someone who is breathing. No, because if they're dead, they're still my husband. Okay, wait. Someone who is enterprising, ambitious, and gentle. Someone who's very gentle. Single or Taken? I have watched Taken 1, 2, and Single, I don't know if there's a movie like that. What's the secret to a positive vibe kind of life? Enjoyment is your duty and your duty only. No one can give you the flavor of enjoyment you need. In some way, they will always fall short, because there'll always be a certain feeling you need that no one can read your mind, no one can understand. It's between you and God. Or if you don't believe in God, it's between you and universe. I feel like the secret to a positive vibe is to make happiness your responsibility as much as possible and then act accordingly. Just entertain yourself. Have fun. Take yourself out on a date. Much more appreciation of also on people, because when they do something that you actually like, you're able to fully enjoy it. You don't have that sense of entitlement where you're like, of course you're doing this for me because that's your duty. No, I don't know. I just feel like people can't read your mind, and so the more burden you relieve people off of making you happy, the better. Would you rather fight for the world or fight for yourself? No matter what I say, I know my instincts will kick in and I'll fight for myself first before I fight for the world. I would love to fight for the world, but if it means that I sacrifice myself, then there's no me to fight the world. It's a bit of a thought, but I don't know. Someone came onto my profile, saw my Instagram handle, they saw everything. They answered this question and typed, "What's your name?" I dare say that my name is Hopehajir, as everything suggests. So how can a man meet you and ask for your hand? I don't know, because I can't give them my hand. If they don't have a hand, the scientific development of the prosthetic, industry has evolved substantially. So I feel like if you add 1 + 1, which is equals to 3, and then you give it to him, then I think technology will be able to help. How tall are you and what's your phone number? You guys are really out here. Ha! Well, I'm 5'6" And my phone number is 911. How did you get your scholarship and how can I get it? I love your content. Well, thanks. Thank you so much. How I got my scholarship, again, it's access to opportunities, but again, it's grades and also how I decided to tell my story. And I think again, I will do a video on this. Okay, I'll do a video on this. Who do you look up to? I look up to my mother. She's a very amazing woman. In terms of a parasocial, relationship, I look up to Maya Angelou. I look up to Oprah. What are your career aspirations? Again, it's to be content and to be comfortable in my own skin and to be able to express that. Now, for the longest time, I have trained for the corporate world and I have always trained for being in studio as an architect or being in office as an economist or things that I've studied for. But having done content, I don't know. I don't know what exactly it will look like, but I know I want to express my creativity and I want to express my intellectual side and I also want to express my love for people. I don't know what that will look like just yet. And I think right now in my final year of university, I am now reaching a point where not only is it necessary, but I think it's a good thing to be able to say, I don't know how that will look like. What do you find the most challenging in life? I think the uncertainty sometimes is difficult to deal with and it makes me question a lot of things. It makes me, the self-awareness of knowing how no matter who you are, there's some weaknesses you'll always have to deal with. Whether you can change them or not, it's still a journey you have to be on. And I think most of them are in response to uncertainty. Even sometimes there's no right way to respond to uncertainty because you can't prepare. The best you can do is just stay ready. Just stay ready to react and to hope that you react in a way that builds you. And if it destroys you, you hope that you have the skills to gather yourself back up. Have you ever gone to therapy? I've tried. I've not found a therapist I like just yet. Also, being an international student of color in the US it's not difficult to get a therapist, but it's difficult to vibe with one. I've tried therapy, but I've not found a therapist who I can, connect to just yet. To be fair, I've not tried as hard as I should, which is probably something, therapy worth talking? I don't know. But I didn't come from a background that suggests therapy, so I started this search much later in my life. But hopefully, I can get a good therapist. How often do you get to see your family? Not that often. I've seen them 1 month total this entire year. It's November right now, so it's been a while. I get very homesick, but when I do see them, it's so good. In the past, I saw them much more. Like every 3 months, I'd go back home. And then I'm graduating next year, so hopefully I get to see them more. But I don't see my family that often. But we're always on WhatsApp, like video calls, FaceTime and WhatsApp. You know about that life. You have siblings? Yes, I have 3 sisters. One is my twin, and then I'm the second born, and then I have 2 younger sisters. And the time I recorded the last video, I had only 1 younger sister. So I have a very baby sister. And I hope one day she sees this. If she sees this, please, Guga, just know I love you. Which high school did you attend? I attended 2 high schools, 2.5. I attended Moi Girls Nairobi and I attended Loreto Convent Musongari. And then I went to homeschool and finished my high school as a private candidate. Have you ever thought of doing your own music? I used to sing a lot. I did covers online for a bit of time when I was still young. I have a podcast and I have this. So any music you find on the podcast or this, chances I'm the one who made it. So I have done my own music, but not for commercial consumption. A difference you've seen between what you thought adulthood was versus what it actually is. Adulthood. Can we just for a moment just acquire the words for adulthood here? I thought adulthood had much more freedom to do what you want. Yes, there's freedom, but there's too much responsibility. Personally, as a student, if I sleep in, I've missed 17,000 classes, about 3 million assignments, and one friend of mine has had a whole breakdown and I wasn't even there for them just because I took a 1 hour nap. So I don't know. Your waist size, I do not believe in waist. I think climate change is real. What are your plans after graduation? I'm still in the process of applying, interviewing, and creating. I'm still in the process. So I don't know for sure yet what my plans are, but I definitely want to do a bit of this. And I've also talked about how I do research and I have training in economics and all that. So I hope to utilize my skills somewhere, and what I know is I want to give it my best. So is that. What is your life story? Would you change anything in your past? Now, I hope you've subscribed because I'm definitely gonna make this a whole video. If you know me. So, would I change anything in my past? No. I would change a few things. I definitely would. I wouldn't make some things as difficult as they were, because now I know what didn't change me or affect me. Some things are just suffering for the sake, which I don't believe in. Would I change anything in the past? No. Will you pursue content creation as a full-time career after uni? I love your personality. Thank you so much, my dear. Full-time career, full-time, like nothing but content? I don't know. Maybe. It's a strong maybe, but I definitely do not know. Someone here said, are you a dancer? Yes, I do have a dance group. Oh, goddamn. Goddamn. We are an elite group of one. I don't know if you watched any of my previous videos, but I am in a group called Backbreakers, aka Body Benders, aka Bum Shakers. And as I said, we perform in baby showers. Thank you so much for all of you guys who vibe with my content. God bless you. Thank you so much. And if you don't, I mean, if you're watching this, I don't know, maybe you're randomly here at the end of the video after having watched the entire thing. Maybe you've just seen this for the first time. However you interact with me virtually, I appreciate you, and you have helped me explore so much about myself and so much about my creative voice. And I have gotten a huge chance to evolve. And over the past 5 years, the fact that I'm doing the same video I did 5 years ago, I think it says something about how I gravitate towards doing this. Making videos and interacting with an online audience. I love it. I appreciate you. And I hope that wherever, whomstever, however, whenever you are watching this, I just hope that you're fine. I hope to make more of these soon. So if you haven't, clicked on the bell below, please do so that we can be able to be connected for that connection. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye-bye.